Today, our Cameron Thompson is hearing from Senators Tim Kaine, whom we just heard a little bit from, and Mark Warner for the first time. He continues our complete coverage tonight.
And Bill, Senators Mark Warner and Tim Kaine are among those lawmakers who are adding their names to the list of those wanting to see President Donald Trump removed from office with the 25th Amendment. Just a bit of what they said during nearly hour-long conversations today, explaining what they saw inside those Senate chambers and how they view what took place yesterday.
This was a Donald Trump-inspired disaster.
These were domestic terrorists. These were thugs.
Virginia Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner describing Wednesday's storming of the U.S. Capitol by a mob of Trump supporters as lawmakers gathered to certify the results of the 2020 election.
I call it an insurrection. I call it a violent protest, and I have no problem calling it domestic terrorism.
Kaine says they realized things were getting serious when the doors to the Senate chambers were blocked.
And then we're escorted to a spot on the Senate campus in the Hart Building.
Both men laying blame at the feet of Trump and his allies for inciting this by spreading lies about the election results.
If he lost, it was because it was rigged. If he lost, it was because he was stolen.
But Warner also criticized social media platforms for allowing those messages to spread, adding locking down Trump's social media accounts now is too little too late.
We need to come down hard on the social media companies who've turned a blind eye to the preaching of hate and white supremacy and nationalism.
They also both criticized the lawmakers who continued to object to the election certification after lawmakers returned, with Kaine specifically calling out the 4 Virginian Republican congressmen who voted for one or both states.
If you're a congressman from Virginia, is there anything easier and more chicken than objecting to the results of some other state?
Going forward, both men express hope for the incoming Biden administration, but say Trump shouldn't remain president until then and should be removed using the 25th Amendment.
We can't have him even for 10 days, I don't think, as our president and commander-in-chief. And so this is something that the vice president and cabinet can do, and they can do it right now.
Now, we have reached out to the 4 Republicans from Virginia mentioned by Senator Kaine for comment on his remarks. Have heard back from Congressman Rob Wittman, who said in part that he wanted this debate to take place because of the concerns of what he says were millions of Americans and his constituents about the 2020 election and wanted to ensure free and fair elections. But again, every election official and every court that has looked into the voting process had found no significant issues with the November 3rd elections. Working for you in Richmond, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.
Thanks, Cam. As new developments emerge surrounding the U.S. Capitol violence and chaos, you can be the first to know by downloading the free CBS 6 News app.
Now let's get a check on your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Zach Daniel. He is watching for some snow, the possibility of snow.
Yeah, a possibility of some snow. Some areas will likely get some snow, a few inches of snow, in fact. And we do have some winter weather advisories that have come out today. Let me show you where that is. And it's pretty far south and west of Richmond. It's down into Lunenburg and Mecklenburg County, as well as Halifax County and over to Pittsylvania County. Now, this does not mean that those are the only areas that will get snow. I do expect snow farther north. I expect to see some here in the Richmond area, but those locations have been targeted as those that look like it's going to be enough snow to cause some travel difficulties, either on foot or by car. And again, I do think that we have a chance for coating as far north as the Richmond area. I'll show you that a little bit later. Looking at our sky condition, we have high thin clouds that continue to roll into the area from the southwest. Those are associated with the storm system, which is anchored right now across parts of central Mississippi, and you can see all the moisture with this thing. It's very healthy at this time, but as it continues to move to the east, and particularly as it moves into central North Carolina, it'll start to open up, and so it'll kind of lose its lifting force, and so that's why we're going to kind of see the northern bands of moisture begin to kind of shut down as they approach south central Virginia, and then the system's going to kind of move off the coast, and it won't really take the form of a true nor'easter, wrapping that moisture back westward like you see a lot of times. It won't be that kind of system for us. Temperatures are a mix of 30s and low 40s. It's 42 here in town. Here's a look at your forecast. Down to 30 for the overnight low temperature tonight with increasing clouds, and tomorrow 60% chance for some snow mixing with rain at times. Heaviest to be near the North Carolina line. We'll talk more about this hour by hour and show you the snowfall total straight ahead.
Some VCU medical students say they're frustrated that staff who work from home have gotten the COVID-19 vaccine before them.
Our Melissa Hippolyte has been looking into how the VCU health system prioritizes who gets the shot. She joins us now with a preview of her Problem Solvers investigation. Melissa?
Bill, at the beginning of this year, the VCU health system decided not to prioritize its medical students for vaccination against COVID-19, and instead, they pulled them out of their clinical duties for 60 to 90 days. Now, the decision upset a large number of VCU med students who argued the CDC recommends healthcare students and trainees get vaccine priority. A group of them wrote a letter to the CEO of the health system, Dr. Arthur Kellerman, expressing their displeasure. Now, one of the students told me they are upset in part because they don't understand why people who work for VCU Health, who telework and have no contact with patients, are being prioritized for vaccination over them.
To me, it seems like VCU may not be handling such a precious resource in a way the public deserves.
Tonight at 11, concerns about who has access to the vaccine, why some frontline workers are having trouble getting it, and what VCU Health had to say to its students. That's ahead tonight at 11. Working for you, I'm Melissa Hippolyte for CBS 6.
Thanks, Melissa. When drivers across Central Virginia needed a hand, one man from Chesterfield was always there to help. In tonight's Heroes Among Us, Greg McQuaid introduces us to a volunteer who goes that extra mile for others. He's now paying it forward to the nurses who are saving his life. That's all new at 6. Lane?
Bill, coming up in sports, we'll recap last night's wins for the Spiders and Rams, who are leading the way in the A-10, and we'll preview tonight's Beyond the Roster on a Chesterfield coach who more than just sets a good example for his players. Your Nissan Play of the Day from last Sunday's season finale, which earned him a $500,000 bonus. 10 yards,
ching, ching.
$500,000. And he knew it, too. Look at this.
From flat tires to empty tanks, a man from Chesterfield was always there to lend a hand.
In his latest Heroes Among Us, Greg McQuaid and Cole Pearson introduce us to a retiree who has dedicated his senior years to helping others. But as Greg tells us, sometimes a hero needs a little help too.
It's just a nice memory to have of the good old days of motorist assistance.
Cherished recollections hang in Tom Hoekstra's garage.
The satisfaction lasts a long time.
A colorful reminder of the best job he ever had.
Yeah, this is Tony, this is Buddy.
And friendships made.
John Miller, Les Ritchie.
The 81-year-old spent 17 years as a member of Motorist Assist.
It was something I really look forward to.
Coming to the aid of drivers broken down or out of gas, the retired engineer wasn't paid a penny.
Gets inside you and makes you feel good.
When he wasn't helping people on the side of the road, the Chesterfield man was assisting neighbors on Wood Lake's board of directors and volunteering at the polls.
What's today going to bring? What opportunity will I have today?
Tom has volunteered more than 8,000 hours in retirement. Added up, that's 333 straight days dedicated to strangers.
The second one is a very impressive plaque presented by the police department to me.
Tom's efforts aren't going unnoticed. He was just elected to the Chesterfield County Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame.
It means a lot when you're recognized for the volunteering that you do.
But spending his time and energy at every turn has been derailed by illness.
2010, 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with colon cancer.
Recently, that cancer spread to his lungs.
It hurt. Oh, yeah. I love the job so much.
Tom had to hang